I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Lou? Aye. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is certification of closed session pursuant to subsection 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended. Each members of the Board of Supervisors upon roll call certifies that to the best of their knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, only such public business matters that were identified in the motions by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the Board of Supervisors. Any member of the Board of Supervisors who believes that there was a departure from the requirements shall state so prior to the vote, indicating substance of that departure in his and her judgment has taken place. Are there any supervisors who believe a departure has taken place? Being none, if you agree to the matters heard, discussed, or considered during the closed meeting were pursuant only to the motion by which the closed meeting was convened, please signify by saying yea or yes. Tim Lovelace.
Yes.
Lou Ann Wallace.
Yes.
Carl Ray.
Yes.
Steve Brady. David Eaton.
Yes.
Horace Christian.
Yes.
Rebecca Dye.
Yes.
Ma'am, you have approval to return to regular session.
All right, at this time, we'll stand for invocation and remain standing. Please, look. Thank you, Lord, for giving us enough God. Thank you, Lord, for the blessings that you bestow upon us. Lord, we will give our hearts and we come before you tonight. We ask that your presence be upon us and help us to lead, guide, and direct, and make the decisions that are best for our community and our citizens. Make known that your great love is what will help us making these decisions. Draw our hearts together so that we will be in unity and one with you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, I'll take a motion for the agenda for the night.
There's a letter of support grant to the Department of Housing by the Cumberland Plateau Housing Authority in the county for workforce housing project in Dane. So that would be item number 11. Item number 12 would be to discuss a change in December board meeting to reschedule it. So it's not time for the Christmas parade. And number 13 would be to add an additional executive session after we complete the rest of the agenda.
Okay. So with those three things added, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Tim, all those in favor?
Aye.
Luke, yours okay?
Barely, but yes, I'm an aye.
Okay. All those in favor of this change to our agenda? Everybody's aye, and Lou got us at E. All right. The first thing we have now is a presentation. Kirby Meadows. I understand Kirby wasn't going to be here. Andy Smith. Well, this will be for the Russell County Planning Commission. Well, Mr. Lester has been over several times to try to see Crystal. She's been out the last few weeks, but we are trying to work with Mr. Randy Williams because she works under his office. So we have heard you, we are listening, and we are trying to work. But she's been out, so we'll get a hold of her and work something out with her.
Thanks for, yeah, for,
Thank you.
Thank you. What steps are we gonna take when we replace Mr. Hall?
We haven't been able to speak with her yet. She's been out from work. She hasn't been here.
I know at the planning commission meeting, we considered that if she would accept it to pay her X number of dollars.
We have to discuss it with her. She has not been at work, so when she gets back, Lonzo's been gone. He has gone over to see her numerous times, and she wasn't there. So, but we are working on it. We will do something for you. All right, next is a presentation from Tim Addington and Melissa Parsons, the 911 education program.
You can take that mask off, I can hear you a whole lot better than you're 6 feet away from me.
So, this is my license on right? So, I'm Melissa Parsons. But I think we are here to follow up on a previous conversation about the transition to next generation. And I'm here to answer questions that you all have. I know that the question has already been a lot from the number one services board. So we have a privilege to receive the information on that generation number one, but there's also a participation agreement that is required and should be signed by the team to go ahead and participate in the AT&T funds to start the implementation of that generation. So, again, my apologies for not really knowing exactly what I need to show you, but I'm here to question. Or if I need to go over the whole thing in advance, I can do that.
Give us all a brief presentation, please.
Okay. So the Commonwealth of Virginia across the state of Virginia is changing our 911 system. It's currently an analog system, now going digital. The policy of the 911 center and a power through passing off cell towers. So those calls are going to start being placed in 911 center. It shows the weather of the state of Virginia.
Might be able to find you some water.
There's some water back there, just need.
Yeah, we'll get you a drink. Just take your time. What sort of events, like regional time events, throughout the county, have there been, in regard to communicating by county and how those services are evaluated? Is this municipal versus sort of very bad. I just thought it was wise to say, ready to all locality, for, taxpayers, especially, uh, we got great ideas. Even like, I call it the same church, called single home person, that is the road. I think you never meet. So very valuable. With all this technology, all this why not enough, why time? Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking the question. I don't know. The way technology is going, it's part of a lot of other things. Yeah, just asking. I know it's going to provide a lot of jobs. You have to have a lot of money. But what money do we save? Okay, it's probably something like that. We save, we'll hire more people, do these other jobs, like look at both together, try to accommodate everybody. And I'm just asking. I mean, it's not anything I'm. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I know Sheriff Dye, he's looking to hire police officers all the time, trying to get new people trained in more areas to cover in the county, more school resource officers. We'll have to fight those battles to either get a grant or coming out of our own budget. I'm just thinking long term, it could be something that maybe could look at long term or short term down the road. It says, how would this fit? I know all the sheriffs would have to vote, and all these directors would have to kind of come together and say, what's this look like? As far as saving the taxpayers $1 million each per county, or whatever it may be. I don't know. But I know that there would be no eliminated jobs because you have to take that savings of money, put those people in some fairly newer positions to accommodate some of these other things. I just thought I'd bring it out, but I know I've talked to Bo about the communication side of it. He does an excellent job, and I know the terrain and stuff that we deal with all the time could be a thing, but I know we have a partnership with Task right now where we microwave back and forward, and I know that technology is still very viable on a 1 gig or service, on the digital side. So I know we have all these landfill sites on these high elevated areas that we own in the county. Offside the landfill, you could put it on landfill, but I've always said that you put a tower up offside the landfill and almost reach 5-6 counties within a link, just to have that redundancy. I guess that'd be my only concern if you had a immediate fiber break shut down. Where you gonna let it to? Where you gonna let it to? Right. It's gonna go to the other. I think we're blessed here to have that ability. Oh yeah, you've done a good job. Yeah. Not bad. I've talked to him quite a bit. He's a good guy. Well, I just thought I would bring that out. I just think that it's something that our whole region as a whole, we're going to have to look a little deep into. Not only that, just budgetary wise, financial wise, saving our taxpayers money, not to continue to put burden on them all the time to have to. If there's other solutions to it for everybody, I think conversations need to be had. Some people just don't like having those conversations. They're afraid that you're going to do away with this or do away with that. I don't think we're a proponent to do away with anything. I think we're a proponent to make things better, life easier, lower taxes for everybody. You know. Bo could find a place.
Yes.
It's a real issue. That's what needs to happen.
It sounds to me like this is a conversation about over the next couple of years while we're being subsidized.
Right.
So we're looking at 1 year.
So,
Compare versus
tied in with getting that work every night. Every right. Right. Oh yeah.
Anyone else have any comments or thoughts?
Uh, yeah, let me just echo some of what Melissa said. The Board of Supervisors has worked with the Sheriff Department. We've upgraded their equipment, which y'all have seen, which we've got grants for that. And the Sheriff's Department did a real good job on this. We also, on this one, I had to contact and vote Tim. We had to ask for extension on this grant until November the 15th. This is only good until November 15th. Due to the COVID, we were going through the meetings and we finally got it to where we could extend. You got to remember, this is a $214,000 grant for us to transition in the right direction. It will not, it's almost like some of our projects, it's not starting until the third quarter 2020, 2021. Yes, thank you. But this is putting in a system like that will, like Melissa said, this will go 10, 15 years out. This will partner, it will enforce, it will also strengthen what equipment that we've done, what we have put into the new Sheriff's 911 Center. So this is just another leg in putting this system, like she said, this is going to be a very powerful system that Russell County has. Actually, it's probably it will be one of the best of all 7 counties in Southwest Virginia. So, but I apologize. We only got till November the 15th to make a decision on this. This is a $214,000 grant. They're going to pay for the first 24 months. So,
You need a motion.
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I'll make it. Unless you want to make it, go ahead. I'll second.
I'll second the motion. Approve.
Yeah.
David, what's,
I'll second.
what you gonna say?
I want to approve. Make a motion to approve this grant as an authorized signature.
I'll second.
Any comments, any discussion? You don't have any thoughts? All those in favor of approving the motion? All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Bo.
The next thing on our agenda is the approval of our minutes for our board meeting. Our first is our regular meeting, October 5th. We have a motion to accept the minutes for our October 5th meeting. Carl, you have a second? Boris, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Bruce, Iris?
Yes.
All right, now we need a motion to accept the minutes of our special call meeting, October the 27th.
Motion approved.
Steve, do you have a second?
Second.
Tim, discussion? All those in favor of approving those minutes? Aye. Next thing is the approval of our expenditures for the month, pay our bills. We have a motion for that.
I'll make it.
David, you have a second?
Second.
Boris? Oh, Carl, I'm sorry, Carl. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next item Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have our citizens comment period. All right, the first person we have is Steve Franklin. So if you'll step to the podium, give us your name and address, please. Big step. Well, usually it's 3 minutes. Take care of that. Okay, Steve, if you'll give me your address, I'm going to stand, please.
Physical address is 6088 View Road,
Yes.
Castlewood.
All right. Pardon? Yeah, and next.
Teresa Franklin, same address.
Okay, Teresa. And I have Nelson Hayes. Road. I'm going to give all this to Vicki. She has to have this. All right, that'll be fine. And then Jim will get you, sir. Okay, go ahead.
Well, we were actually, and we appreciate y'all taking the time to hear us on this. There is a lease agreement with the Clinch River Little League, which we don't have a problem with that. However, our kids are not part of the Little League, mine's not, but she does play. We live in Castlewood, 2 minutes from the park, and the gates to the park are locked. And I spoke with Luann about this in some extent. She asked me to speak with Bob Salyers, who is the president over the Little League. I tried to do that, and he refused. He said he was not discussing it with me and actually hung up on me. But we want our kids to be able, as Russell County citizens, she did verify that tax money goes into the Little League. And we want our kids to be able to go out there and just practice. It was just my husband and my daughter. She has to make video to get, she's got college looking at her. And we go out there to make video and things of that nature so that we can send them when they request it. And he locked the gates and will not open those gates. He said the property belongs to the Little League. I have a contract here that, they wrote with them, and they say it renews every 10 years. He pays $1 a year for rent, is what it says. But I just feel like, because we do pay taxes as well, I was told that, we could go to Dane or we could go to Cleveland, and I'm like, we live 2 minutes from this field. And I don't understand why that we don't ask to use it when Little League is in session. We would not expect to take, priority over Little League. But we would like for our kids to be able to use this field to practice, to, make video for colleges so that they can, get scholarships to go to college. But he refuses to open the gates to let them use it, even when Little League is not in session or having games or even in season. And we had tried to discuss it with him to see if he would let them use it, and he refuses. So we came out today. I know, with this agreement, I don't know, what can be done as far as him allowing us to use it, but I do know that, according to this, it can be terminated with only a 90-day notice. And I just feel like if we pay taxes and we live in Russell County, that our kids should be able to use these fields and have full access to them when Little League is not in session. But he refuses to speak with anyone about it. So that's why we're here.
This is not asking to use concessions that he has there. We're not asking to use lights. Just a couple hours of daylight is all we're asking. And I don't see where a problem could be. He's totally against anybody doing anything besides Little League. My daughter plays on a travel team out of Rome just for college exposure. There's nothing against anything here. I can just get her in front of better college coaches
is there. And we have to put work in outside of what she does there. We have to travel to Cleveland, to Dane. And I can just, I mean, it's a 5-minute walk from my house. Less than 2 minutes in a vehicle. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'll tell you this. I run into this situation at home Acre. And I went down there and met with the board and had a pretty deep conversation because I coached down there for years and I participated with all the kids. But I told them, I said, this ain't about us, it's about the kids. And you can't restrict because there's too many days in the week, too many hours that they can work together to let these people access these fields. Now, when I was in Little League, we had 8 teams. Now we're down to 1, maybe 2. And why is because people wanted they wanted to travel, they wanted to see more experience, they wanted to get their kids better, and they wasn't getting it at the local level. I'm just being honest and straight with you. And we need to have the ability in Russell County and all of our county fields to let people play and participate and open the doors to those, whether they want to go out there and hit some or throw some or you can't restrict. Me personally, I think you cannot restrict it just to one organization because you're hurting the kids. And not anything against Little League because I was in there for 25 years. And I won 6 district championships, went state 6 times with some really good talented kids. But it was about the kids. And I had kids from Lebanon, Rich Lanes, and everywhere coming to play. I let them play for me if they didn't have a place to play. So my personal feeling on this is that no gate should be locked when it comes to opening those things up for our children. And work it out, just communicate and say, hey, look, Little League's only there for so much time. And you can actually work around those practice schedules and game schedules because they usually only play on weekends. But if you look at the way Little League's been doing now, they're playing the interleague. So if Honaker travels to Coburn, they're not there at Honaker. If Coburn travels or Castlewood travels to Honaker, then you all could be practicing on those fields and have those availability and have access to those. And I know who you're talking about. I know him personally. You know, I consider him. I've umpired and worked Bob and different ones in this Little League program. They've been doing it for 50 years. But you can't keep doing things the same way.
No, we're not here to hurt Little League in any way.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. Well, I've always said that if you look at the accommodations that we have in the county, people shouldn't go to Domtar Park every weekend to play ball.
I agree.
I mean, they shouldn't go down there and spend their money when they can spend it right here in Southwest Virginia. Now, you all, I travel. I'd play in Knoxville, and they'd send me 25 miles down the road when I lost. Nobody heard that. But, you know, we took a whooping, we went down there, and if you come out of the bracket, you came back to this other field. I've told Steve and different ones here, we've got accommodations right here in Southwest Virginia. If you open the doors to these accommodations, you'd have kids coming, once this COVID deal's going, you'd have bringing them here by the bus load to have these travel ball tournaments.
And that's great revenue.
And it's great revenue. And the parents are getting a lot of money. Well, time. Well, I'm going to sit here and just tell you, I've made people mad before, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, we need to open up our facilities in the county, and we need good, strong leadership. I don't want you taking your dollar outside there. I hate that.
We want to bring people in.
I mean, if we could host that, now that we've got ball up here at Southwest Virginia Community College, we have all this ball going on. That's right. But I'll show you.
And that's what I'm hearing. I'm sure that's what they're hearing. We're bringing it to you
I don't agree with locking the gate.
We're restricting a lot of kids for.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna be honest with you, I have used this field for the last 4 or 5 years on downtime, I guess you could call it, when nobody's there. There's actually a sign on the gate when you go into the parking lot. Now, it's like dusk till dawn or whatever, you're not supposed to be there, I understand that. But we're going out for an hour and a half, 2 hours after she gets home from school and I get home from work. You know, just to, she's not travel to Roanoke, you know,
I'd rather have her on that field any day.
Right.
Well, and to be honest with you, Norton City Fields, Little League, invited her, they said, you can come out here and warm up and practice on this field, and I'm like, that's shameful.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a member of the Roanoke Men's Club. We have that pretty good athletic program. We met with Lebanon and Castlewood this past year or two. We took money out of our own budget and helped them get their basketball program up and running. Because it wasn't just about, it was about all the kids. And you know, it worked out great. We all came together. We traveled to Castlewood to play. They came up here and played because we want to keep our kids in Southwest Virginia. But now I'm telling you right now, we're losing thousands of dollars going out of here, going to Tennessee.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I spend roughly $500 a week.
That's when we don't have to get rid of it.
Oh, I know. I'm with you.
Honestly.
I'm with you. I don't know the legality of the contract or whatever.
Does anyone else have any comments?
Legal.
Does anybody else have anything to say? All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yes.
Jim?
And
Jim Liv.
if you don't if we don't care just on the contract and on the Little League contract, that is a valid contract that not this board but the previous board gave to the Clinch River Little League. Now, one of the things in the contract is, and probably the reason they're kept, is different than any other field in the county because it does have a contract. The Little League maintains $1 million insurance policy on that. They have to maintain security. They have to maintain the operations and the maintenance. The county contributes, as far as taxpayers funding, very little to that Little League because the Little League maintains it. They mow it. We don't provide manpower. We don't provide very little funding. Probably the funding that we provide to that Little League to run those is probably would keep the lights on. So that is correct. And anybody burn, we do. The other fields, the other fields are open. The other fields do not have those restrictions on it because he has them. By the board of supervisors, right? Yeah, we understand the covenants in it. Have y'all sat down with Bob and tried to work out? Let us get a little bit more clarity on this. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm Jim Little, 1660 Copper Ridge in Castlewood in Tim's district over here. I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can for my 3 minutes. First, just piggybacking on what the previous speaker said. From a strictly tourism standpoint, as of 2019, athletics was the 12th biggest drawer of tourism dollars to a county. That's coming in to see high school games, little league games, any type of games. The last report I looked at in 2019, it was the 12th highest. So that's dollars lost, and people coming in. So I just wanted to piggyback on that and toss that out for what it's worth. I'll wear two hats real fast here. First, I'm the pastor of the Churchill United Methodist Church in Hansonville. I just want to thank all the county residents that have used. We entered into an agreement with the school system and with Mr. Lovelace here to set up 2 Verizon hotspots, of which students can come in, citizens in the community to do unemployment applications, job applications, etc. And our biggest concern from the church was what kind of mess would we have in the parking lot, and they've left it spotless, Tim. It's been wonderful, the job. So we appreciate both the young people and the residents of the county, and we're just glad we were able to do a little bit there from our end. Quickly putting on, we're not really on for tourism today, but because we're coming up on the Christmas season, I'll put a plug in real fast here. First, I want to thank Heather, who has become just a fantastic asset in the last year as our tourism coordinator. The grant she's been able to write for us, the accessibility, and to Lonzo for his support for us. Quick things that we've started. If you look on our Facebook site, you'll see Tuesday Treasures and Friday Features, which are local businesses that would relate to tourism, whether a business to draw in, a place to eat, etc. Our first one was a antique shop here in town called Something Special. And then this past one, Rick Bostic's place, Farmer's Table up in Honaker. And if you look at that, that just went off the board and hits there on the Farmer's Table. So we're pleased to be able to feature these businesses out there. The Facebook that we've bought into and spent some of our money on, as of about 10 minutes ago, we have 4,963 people that are following our Facebook site. We're super thrilled with that. I mean, you know, people are actually going on there and looking at it. We've got an app that in the process of working on that was paid with some of the state COVID money grant that we got, along with we have been and will continue to be, Heather can correct me if I'm wrong, Blue Ridge Outdoors. We're trying to spread more throughout the region. We've been in Blue Ridge Outdoors now 1 or 2 months, and we're booked through the end of December trying to advertise outside our region. We had a little over half a page this last time and getting good results. Plus, we were on their online presentation also. You got the copies of them up there. Yes, everyone should have a copy of the Blue Ridge Outdoors. You'll find that and Heather wrote up the articles. Wonderful job again. We've also qualified and got another grant from the state here. Pretty much a leverage grant there. I think we've got every grant you've written, you've gotten so far, haven't you, Heather? Yeah. So I mean, fantastic job Heather's done in grant writing for us. We then started fundraising on our own to get into non-designated money that we could use for different things. And it was started with a anonymous gift of $500 donation. So it didn't come out of our line item, which we couldn't use. So we got an anonymous on that. We've now returned the 500 and profited over 800 just in the last 2.5 months on that. I know that seems small, but we're making money instead of spending it here so far. And that's with all of our bills paid on it. You'll find back behind you there, we've done etching there. Again, used a local company out of Castlewood, Farmhouse Designs, that did the etching. And we've had to reorder on the mugs 3 times, Heather, something like that already. I mean, they've been very successful, and we're more than doubling our profit on that from the markup. Besides those, we've got a company called Middle Creek Clay that is doing coffee cups. If you remember, some of you have seen them already. It's a clay coffee cup. It's got the outline of Virginia on it with a heart right over Russell County with Experience Russell on that. Those should be here in about 2 weeks that we'll have up on those as a fundraiser also. We've had a donation from a local individual that you'll find down in the art center here in the hall. If you walk up the hallway there, where we've got several pictures of Renee Hodges has donated a stretched canvas 16 by 20 that we'll be doing a silent auction on. And we've had a basket donated by Something Special that different businesses have been putting things in. We're going to do a raffle. So we're not just sitting on our butts there, Steve. You know, I mean, you told us to do something. So thank you there, Steve. Well, thank you. The how that money's being used, we now have our brochures being distributed in 5 airports throughout the region, including Tri-Cities, for everyone on those. Yes, and reading of my 3 minutes old. No, come back. Come back. What? Right, Brandon. Mosley over at the brewery, Lonesome Pine Brewery, has got the glasses and is working with another program on that. Glasses are also available at the Appalachian Meats and down in St. Paul at Clinch Life Outfitters, or in Heather's office if she doesn't keep losing room. But no, we'll keep ordering them and going great. But like I say, 5 airports now are distributing our information going out. We're trying to get our, they're working, Jeff Hess with VTC from up in Honaker. I know David knows Jeff. Working on getting them to show our video as part of the flip through at Tri-Cities Airport. So that'll be a good boom for them to see. We did get videos done, 4 actually total, from Brad Deal and Preston Ball. Preston right here locally, Brad just over the county line. These can be pulled out if the IDA or anyone wants to feature a certain section. These are made so that you can actually pull out a snippet. We'd like to be put on your schedule maybe in February after you have all your officers in January and everything, and present those to the public here maybe on that to see what we've got coming up. But we used our money to get these videos done. We had to purchase some music rights to go with them and things like that, but that's just part of doing the business there. We also gave out last year a $500 scholarship, and we're online to do the same again this year. Again, our brochures, we did 10,000 brochures, and we've already given out over half of them. And then we did video presentations at all 3 high schools, of course, back before COVID hit, at the Oak Grove Community Center, at the Drill Community Center, and I will go on record as saying the best food in the county is in Drill. Okay, I mean those ladies can cook when you go up. Right, David. Those ladies can cook over there. I put on 5 pounds. I thought I was at a church social here. You know, they were wonderful. Over at Castlewood, and then the Chamber of Commerce and the Rotary. And then COVID basically shut us down on making these presentations. So that, I know I've gone over my 3 minutes. For that, I apologize. But you let a preacher take the microphone, you're in trouble. So if we can do anything more, let us know what we can do. I applaud the committee that I've got working with me, and Heather, and the support from Lonzo, and the support from all of you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for opening up your church to the community and the students. Sorry, thanks for opening up your church property. I don't know why this isn't one. Thanks for opening up your church to the community and the students, and for all you've done with tourism. Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else, audience, anyone else that wants to speak, public comment? Yes.
Chair, I have some additional information to present on behalf of the Planning Commission on the GIS. Would you prefer that I do that now, or?
Public comment. Okay. Give me your address, please. Sure.
Dustin Keith, 211 Cedar Heights, Lebanon. Good evening. Thank you all very much. I am Dustin Keith. I'm a resident here in Lebanon, local realtor and director of the Southwest Virginia Association of Realtors, and a member of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission have received several comments prior to March when we made this initial recommendation to you all about public access to the GIS. In researching this, we did have our agent Crystal White do some research, and she did find that all of the surrounding counties to Russell do have free online public access to this service. And this service is a map service. It is an aerial. It doesn't necessarily include plats as a definite legal boundary of properties, but it does connect maps to tax records. So currently, to use the GIS in Russell County, you must submit an application and pay a $150 annual fee to use the service. We were told that the annual cost to the county to host this information through the contractor was $3,500. As you can see on page 1, these are the minutes from our March 16th meeting when we approved a recommendation after hearing the presentation from Crystal, recommending to you all that the Board of Supervisors waive all user fees for access to the Russell County GIS system. Since then, the board has not taken up that recommendation for consideration. You all have discussed the issue, but I wanted to be here also with Mr. Smith and answer any questions or clear up any confusion you had about the GIS. The GIS is an important tool for realtors and other real estate professionals, but this recommendation would have the highest impact on the public at large and out-of-area people conducting land research in Russell County. During the pandemic, especially in the early months during the summer, when our rates were very low, realtors across the region had dozens of calls from people out of state who were very much interested in moving to Southwest Virginia to escape the high concentration of coronavirus in cities and suburbs. But think of the out-of-state buyer who was interested in purchasing property in Russell County. They weren't able to access the online GIS and start researching property because it was not available to them. But because the service was available in surrounding counties, if they were looking to do research, they would probably end up purchasing in a different county because that wasn't available to them. So because of this, you do have several letters of support that we were able to collect in just a few days. These span real estate industry, nonprofit, surveyors, other groups. And this would be a huge asset for us to continue doing the work that we do and helping people relocate to the region to increase our tax base. But also this is a great service that we could and should be providing to our county residents and to the public at large. Do you all have any questions about any of this information? Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Right. Is there anyone else? Anyone else wants to speak? Right. Same now, we'll close our citizens' comment period. Constitutional officers. County attorney reports and requests. Thank you. All right, county administrator reports and requests.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First on the county administrator reports is, of course, the Russell County CARES funding summary, financial summary to date. As of November the 2nd, 2020, this is a summary of our how Russell County has distributed out our CARES funding. As you can see, on the first line item, one of the largest portions went out to each one of the individual towns, 839,000. Of course, we've had to also take care of the county operations, which included, all the sheriff's departments and the county offices and treasurer, et cetera, and that was at 1.57. The next one is the public facility safety modifications that we've had to make for decontamination equipment, touchless system, clean supply, sanitation, meeting rooms, government facilities, and that has been $451,000. But one of the things that the Board of Supervisors should find a very helpful to the community. Thank you. Is the business support and recovery. Right now, out of this funding, Russell County Board of Supervisors has given over $427,000, into creating, small business grants and public spaces. So, and in addition to that, also into our non-support, our food pantries of $160,000. But one of the best ones was our first responders to our fire and rescue, and that we have given a total of $415,000. So again, we have given into the areas that are here to protect Russell County citizens, protect Russell County employees, protect Russell County first responders. So right now, into date, and this to the end of the year, from November the 2nd to the end, we have $551,697 remaining under the CARES.
But we do have, 10
Yes, ma'am.
grants? 10 grants
That'll
to
be-
get processed. We still
Yes,
have
ma'am.
them.
Now-
They have not been deducted.
Yes.
All right.
And next on the county administrative reports is the Russell County Transfer Station staffing report that was all in your packet. Again, this is the disclosure statement that we're required to do in staffing at the transfer station. That takes care of our trash. It tells that we are meeting the DEQ and guidelines on what we're supposed to do at our landfill. As everyone can see, during the COVID, the landfill has increased greatly. And again, I want to, acknowledge that during our time for our waste management people, sometimes that during these times, during the cold and the heat, they've been out there to take care of the disposal there at each one of our sites and at our transfer station. Next on the county administrative reports is, of course, this is just an acknowledgement that the Russell County Assistant Commonwealth Attorney is going to be advertising for a position. We had one to leave the county, and we will be advertising it at the 1st of December. Next is, of course, the Virginia Service Training Officers Prosecution B-Stop Grant. This is the application, as you see in your packet. This is for a grant for $57,028. This is an application to the B-Stop that has been done by the Sheriff's Department. The Russell County Sheriff's Office is requesting B-Stop continue funding for a full-time investigator dedicated to the domestic violence and sexual assault cases. This officer will work with all domestic violence victims, sexual assault, and victims during the grant time period. This is the application for y'all's package. Next on the county administrative reports is the CARES Act funding fast track broadband projects. What a time. So in the meantime, with all the CARES Acts, the CARES that was given to the county was to ensure that the safety of Russell County citizens and the Russell County employees. Second was there was CARES funding given to the schools to be able to operate to protect our Russell County students and teachers. Now, this is an additional grant that has came down through that came down through the governor's office. There's $30 million that has been allocated for broadband expansion. So, seeing that it came and Russell County taking every advantage that we can, we reached out to the Cumberland Plateau and our private providers. And as you will see during the application of these two projects, we are asking for additional services under this for an additional $500,000 in broadband expansion within the services in Russell County. So the first one is, of course, through Point Broadband. This is the total project, which is $199,645, and this has a 3 mile of fiber construction, which has the design, the labor, and the materials. And this is the area of service, and I hope I can get it down to where y'all can see it, on Route 728. In addition to Point Broadband, IGO has also came in and partnered with Russell County Board of Supervisors for a broadband infrastructure that will serve 40 additional households that will be, let's see, where is this one located at? It's Clarks Valley. Yes, thank you. My glasses have fogged up. Sorry, at Clarks Valley. So this will serve additional 40 houses. This is also part of the package. And the second part, which is this also has the broadband infrastructure, which will be serving up through in the Honaker area. This will be a total of 184 houses that will be able to be served. So those packages, again, it's an application. It is a first come, first serve. We have made it into phase 2 of these applications. There is only 3 phases. They have asked for additional information, which sounds promising. So again, if there's funding on the table, Russell County has went after it for the broadband. That concludes the county administrative reports. Next is request by the Board of Supervisors, the Russell County Cares Business Grants. As you can see, and I just wanted to highlight what I had mentioned before, how we had given out this to our Russell County citizens, our Russell County students, and our Russell County businesses. So, of course, we give to the IDA, we give to the Russell County, all these businesses that we have listed, to the rescue and fire departments, and one of the things that I left out, of course, which was the food ministries, which we have given out $110,000 to our food pantries to take care of Russell County citizens, especially during this time. And we're also, the Russell County Board of Supervisors are looking at giving additional funding during this time, which you'll see on the agenda during the Thanksgiving coming up, and of course Christmas. These are tight times, so we're going to provide every assistance that they can to Russell County citizens. Of course, the town of Lebanon, what they have given out in the town of Honaker to their businesses. We have pending grants, like I said, of over $210,000. But tonight we have additional 10 applications that we have on the application, which I need to add 2 additional ones onto this, which is Compton Carpet and Kenneth Short, which is an independent installer with Fogelman Carpet. I need a motion for approval for 10 applications pending approval through the CARES Act by the Russell County Board of Supervisors.
So moved.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of these 10 additional ones that have just come in? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?
Next on the county administrator request is we're currently looking at, we have the Russell County Erosion and Sediment Ordinance. We need to set a public hearing date. I've got to request that with motion for the next board meeting in December. So I need a motion to advertise for a public hearing for the Russell County Erosion and Sediment Ordinance.
So moved. Second.
Steve, second. David, any discussion? we will set that when we set our next board meeting. We'll do it that, and we will discuss that because we are looking at moving the next board meeting to accommodate our folks here in town. All right, all those in favor of the soil erosion public hearing? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next, as discussed before, this is the annual Russell County Board of Supervisors Turkey Donation Program. Again, to assist our Russell County citizens that are in need during this time, the Russell County Board of Supervisors, upon the motion, would dedicate $10,000 of our food safety money under the CARES Act to provide turkeys through our food pantries to the Russell County citizens. I need a motion for approval of $10,000.
I'll make that motion.
That's $2,500 budget. Budget was $7,500.
That is correct, sir.
I'm sorry.
There was a
Carl,
delay.
is that you or Steve? Carl. Okay, Carl. Do we have a second?
Second.
David, any discussion? All those in favor of
Aye.
increasing this to $10,000?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And next, I need, as part of the annual authorization for our part-time employees for being paid during the Thanksgiving and Christmas pay. It's a procedural move, but I need a motion for that.
Moved.
David, Steve, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next up on the Russell County Administrative Reports is, of course, as been spoken before, is the Russell County GIS system fee. I have put into the packet the interactive GIS, their talking points on this. Again, the system that we had at the Board of Supervisors had requested that we look into upgrading our GIS system that was very antiquated. It actually was on a platform that had IT issues last week. So this system, we were running dual system, and
That fly was after keep him over there.
it's like Pence. He didn't know he was there. Sorry about that. Again, the Russell County GIS system fee. This is interactive GIS. This is the same GIS system software carrier that carries Washington County, Virginia. Currently, our platform that we're utilizing, as you can see in your board packet, can carry this platform, but it also can expand. As we move into the future, we can add into our water and sewer issues, our infrastructure. It can add in a lot of the emergency services. As we add in, it can grow. Now, the fee previously, as mentioned before, was actually $3,500, and this one with the upgrade will be $7,000. So it carries a high level of platform and better security, but that is at the board's discretion. So that is the annual fee. And I want to point out the fee that the Russell County Board of Supervisors have been charging previously, we weren't making any additional money other than paying for the service itself. So.
Let me ask you a question, Lonzo. I don't know if anybody's looked at it or not, but a good trade-off maybe to look at, maybe through the budget, would be these houses that we're selling off for downstairs, back on the tax roll. What kind of money is that actually bringing into the county since we started that program? Do you have just a rough idea?
Each sale, it will be different, of course.
I understand that.
Of course.
Just an idea of what.
And
I ain't gonna hold you to it. I'm just wondering.
you know how I am on numbers, so.
I know you're gonna know the facts.
I've looked at that, and it properties between sale, $500.
No.
And I mean, it's kind of getting used. And that money goes back into
Treasure.
back in.
And It has to go, that is the legal way we have to do it by
I
the code of
understand
procedure.
that, I just wondered from numbers perspective, without incurring more debt to the taxpayer.
I think $7,000 something we can look at.
Oh, I do too.
That's,
Is there a time limit on having to do that?
No. Right now, we're, like I said, we were running dual platforms. We've had a long relationship with Interactive GIS. For right now, as they pay $150, that will remain in effect until the board makes a decision to either increase it or to eliminate it. That will remain in effect. My staff today, we pulled the new add-ons and the links for the new systems, and we'll be sending it out to the existing users until y'all make a decision on what at y'all's pleasure, what you decide to do.
I'm like the planning commission in a way. I think a good investment, you get good return on the investment. But you get people sometimes utilizing that service more and more to do the research and stuff like that. I know sometimes the fee $150 just to be able to get access to it. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes I know probably these counties are utilizing it for more access to the road, because if they have access to that, they can get in, lock in on it, they can move, close on the property quicker, and they might hesitate. I know I'm not saying $150 might hold somebody up, but they might hesitate and say, well, they're charging me to get access to this, and they might have to do it by legwork or phone calls and stuff like that. So I think accessibility to that technology is to be a huge benefit. If we could afford to offer it at a free price, I think it would be in our advantage long term to do that. But you just have to run the budget, you have to run the numbers and everything, make sure that we can afford.
you just make a recommendation to us next week.
Yeah.
I can, yes, sir.
For that amount of money, I mean.
Yeah, I think we'll make it free too. I'm like Steve, but I think it's an investment. You will get a great return on the investment when people have accessibility to high tech opportunities, stuff like that. They log into it. You can put that on your tourism platform. You put it out there that you have accessibility to GIS. Come look at Russell County. And I think working with those entities.
I think there certainly has to be stipulations
Yeah.
associated with it, because those boundaries are nowhere close to it. They're just best fitted on.
Have you tried out the new platform? Have you seen the new platform?
No.
It's like I said.
Yeah, but I know how they put those.
Yes, you do. You're an engineer.
I've tried to fit some of them together.
So currently right now, I will get back to the board at the next board meeting on suggestions for the Russell County GIS system. Let's see, number 11 under the county administrator request is we have got a Virginia housing letter of support for a grant, another grant, in this time for the Dane community area. This is an application through the Cumberland Plateau Housing Authority and partnering with the Russell County Board of Supervisors. Again, this is an application for a grant for a housing project within Dane. I need an approval for the Virginia Housing Letter of Support.
Need a motion for that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion, we approve this letter of support and authorize signature of the chairman to sign that.
Yes, sir.
I'll second.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
David? Or any discussion? All those in favor of this letter of support for the Dane Housing Authority? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Ma'am, number 12 is the dates for the Christmas parade and the board, so that concludes Russell County Administrator reports and requests.
With that being said, Steve, right now, our next board meeting is the Monday, and it is the date of the Christmas parade, so.
And the Christmas parade is 6
At
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
So to avoid, I know there's probably people who prefer to be at the Christmas parade, come here, but they'd like to do
now what are
both.
you talking about?
They'd like to do both, so, how about the 8th, next day? Which would be a Tuesday.
Freeland's closed too? Oh,
Eight.
okay. Well, how about going to the ninth, Wednesday? Anybody, any discussion with that? So when we adjourn, we'll make sure that we change our board meeting to that day. Or do you want to go ahead and do it now, Steve, while you've got your calendar out there?
The ninth is fine with me. It's okay with everybody
Everybody
else.
else, is that all right?
Yeah. Ever. Is it?
You okay?
Yes. Yes. All right.
I'll make a motion that we
Change our board.
reschedule our December board meeting, the 7th to the 9th, which is Wednesday, 6 o'clock. I'll say.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. We get there. All right. Now we need to go back to closed session. Then, so we need a motion, read all that again, and start again. Okay?
Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we go into closed session, discuss legal matters pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1, discussions concerning personnel matters of county employees.
Steve, do we have a second?
Second. I'll go ahead.
Orrs. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will go back